Hey, this is Alicia with Unstationary, and today we're going to make a Christmas tree. Now here's the thing, it's going to take about an hour to make it, okay? But the video won't nearly be as long as that. So make sure that you pause along the way to not miss any details. So get ready, let's go! Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to get all of our Christmas trees things out, okay? And then we kind of need to group them together for easy togetherness, okay? And so you see that I have my Christmas tree over here, I have my rug pieces here, and then I have all my gifts and decorations and all my loose pieces over here, okay? And so we're ready to get started, but first we need glue. So we can either use one or the other, okay? So if you have an Elmer's glue, like a school glue, you can definitely use that, or if you have a glue stick, you can definitely use that too. Now here's the thing though, is that you can kind of see this is extra strength. You're gonna need something like that because this is gonna wanna bend apart, specifically on the tree side, okay? But either way, you can only go as fast as your glue dries, all right? So now this glue is meant to kind of go by a little quicker, so I'm going to go ahead and use this, but just so you know, everywhere I use this glue, you guys can use that glue if you want to, okay? So also, if you have your instructions, your PDF instructions from the website, I follow that pretty much verbatim. There might be some things that I change or I add, but just to let you guys know that pretty much is the same thing that we're following. So if that would help to have that along, you can totally do that too. So first, let's go ahead and get our Christmas tree top. The first thing that I do is I like to pinch it. You can kind of see that I have it on both sides of my fingers, and I kind of just pull it. Now, doing this stretches the fibers, and so in a minute, when I'm about to make it into a cone, you can see that it already has a natural curve, so it's going to be easier for me to do that. Now, if you notice that there's a notch here, okay? There's a notch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up to the notch. And when I do that, notice that there's a point that happens here, okay? Now this point doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, we are crafting this by hand. But if you squeeze tight enough, you'll be able to get it all the way closed, okay? So I just kind of want you to practice that first before we put our glue on there, okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and put the glue. So I'm going to use a zigzag fashion until I get to the side and put that glue on there, okay? And then I'm going to grab it, I'm going to line this up with that notch, and that's how I'm going to know it's where it's on point, it's where it's supposed to be, okay? Now one of the tricks is that I always kind of go over a little bit and then I drag it. Now that might smear your glue a little bit, but that is okay because this is the back. Okay, and there you go. And so you just gotta hold it until the glue dries. In other words, is that we gotta wait until the glue cures, okay? And now we have the tippy part of our tree. I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside, and we're gonna move to the second piece. Okay, so this is the second piece, and you can see that we have some tabs here, and we have the same kind of box tab. This is called a box tab there. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put our two fingers on either side, and we're gonna just stretch it. Stretch it. We wanna kind of curl those fibers, stretch those fibers, so it's really easy for us to make the cone. All right, so you notice that it already has a bit of a curve to it. And so we're gonna practice this again, first without the glue. And you can kind of see that there are these notches right here, and that is where we want this line to line up to. So we line it up there and we line it up there, and that's how it's gonna go, okay? So now that we know how to do that without the glue, let's add the glue. So again, I'm gonna take the glue, I'm gonna zigzag until I'm all the way done at the bottom. Okay, now I'm not using a lot of glue. So you guys don't use a lot of glue on me, okay? And then I'm going to stick it and I'm going to drag it. So noticing that I'm dragging, okay? All right, and then I'm just going to hold until it dries. All right, now this glue dries a little bit quicker than yours probably does. So if you have to pause, feel free to pause. All right, so now we have our tabs. So these tabs, what we do is that we're going to bend the tabs down, okay? And then we're going to put glue on the tabs, but mainly just the ends, okay? There we go. We've got glue on the ends. Then we're going to take the top of our Christmas tree and we're going to place it on top. Now we're not jamming it. I'm not like trying to make it go down all the way. I'm just going to push it until I get a little bit of resistance. And then I'm just going to hold it there because I want the glue to dry. Now those tabs help raise up the Christmas tree so the Christmas tree is not on each other, so you get the nice little shadows that you can kind of see here. And so this is kind of important. So go ahead and pause and get back to me whenever your tabs are dry. Okay, ready for the second, actually third part of our tree. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Just gonna go ahead and bend those tabs, or curl it, not bending tabs, sorry, curling it. Kind of see it already has a bit of a curve to it. And we're gonna practice. So the notches that we are lining up are right here and right here, okay? There we go. The bigger it is, the easier it is for sure. There you go. So we know that's going to go in there pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and get my glue. I'm going to do my little zigzag line. Now if you ever do a big clump of glue, you know what you can do is that you can kind of smear it with the nozzle there, like that if you need to, okay? Okay, and then you push it like that. Nice, huh? All right, so again, let it dry, and then once it's dry, if you need to kind of help form it, you can. Then you're gonna bend down the tabs that are already halfway down, okay? So just bend them down. No need to like make them a sharp crisp down, okay? So you should have your 4 tabs down. And then you do the same exact thing that you did last time. There we go, on the ends. And then from there, you want to make sure that you're lining up your seams the whole entire time, okay? So I'm going to line up the seams. I have my seam right here. There we go. Again, I'm not going to push down all the way, just enough to get a little bit of resistance. I'm going to hold it until it dries. Okay, so the basics of your tree. So the base of your tree is done. That looks great, guys. Okay. So let's go ahead. Now we're going to do the rug. So all we have to do is put a little bit of glue . Very nice. Okay, I used a very thin layer. And then put it on and kind of slide it to where you want to go. most glue, unless of course it's like a colored glue, will dry clear. So there you go, we have our rug on. Now we can put our tree on our rug. Very nice. Okay, so then the next thing that we're going to do is that we are going to put our star onto the tree. So in order to do the star, you have to find these two pieces, okay? Go ahead and get those two pieces. Pause until you find them. Now, with the piece, what we're going to do is that if you notice that there's a sharp point here and there's a sharp point there. So there's two sharp points on either side of these curves, okay? So what we're going to do is that we are going to bend it at the sharp. There you go. You bend it. All right, and so it should look like this now, okay? And then what we're going to do is that we're going to actually kind of bend it like that, and we're going to glue right there, okay? And when we do that, what's going to happen is that this part is going to like bend out, okay? So let me get my glue. I'm going to put it in this arm, put it in that arm. Okay. And I'm going to bend this out while I'm holding it. Okay. Now notice my tabs are not all the way glued because they don't need to be all the way glued. All right. I just wanted a big like holder, if you will. Okay. And then what's going to happen is that this is going to go right on top of the tree. I didn't wait long enough for my tree to glue on this one side, so now it's crooked, but yours won't be like that at all. All right, so now that we have that done, we're gonna put glue right there in the inside of our star. Okay, so I've glued inside my star. And then I'm gonna make sure that this lines up with the seam, okay? And then we're going to gently put that in there. There we go. Nice. So that is how yours should look right now. Okay, so I'm going to put that back. Okay, so now we get to do presents. Now I keep getting presents on me. Now in the instructions, I tell you guys to put on the decorations first and then to do the gifts. But you know what? The decorations are really, really fun, and you probably don't really need a lot of help on how to put the decorations on, right? So I'll just go over that really, really quickly for you guys. Essentially, you put glue on the center of it and then you push it down. And that's it. And you just do that over and over and over again. Now what I would do, I would definitely recommend you guys doing that one color and then moving on to your next color, okay? Now some of the things that you can do with your ornaments there is that if you want to draw on them, if you want to put glitter on them, if you want to put like snow, a pom-pom, sequins, you guys can do whatever you want with these. Like there's just so many different things you can do with those, which are really exciting. So pom-poms don't come with it, but like, you know, what if you put pom-poms there on there? You know, or like maybe that pom-pom was too big, maybe you do little tiny pom-poms. Like how cute would that be? Okay, or if you wanted to do snow, you know, that would be also super, super cute as well. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and do that and not take up too much time, but let's go ahead and tackle the super fun gifts. Okay, so we have all of these different things together, okay? So the first thing that we need in order to do is that you need to put your gift back with the same color gift, okay? So you have a yellow one, you have a pink one, and then you have a green one, okay? Now, as you can tell, all my backs have kind of the same thing, right? Let's look at one of them closer, okay? So look, we have these little lines, these indents here, and then we have these tabs here, okay? And all three of them have that. Now, this tells us where the top and the bottoms are, okay? So the tops and the bottoms are where the indents are. And that will tell you what orientation you need to have your gifts. Because look, this needs to go behind your gift. So like, let's see if you did it this way, you could still see your back. So now that you know that this stands like this, if you put the gift on top of it, you know, well, that gift needs to stand up. So it's the same way for all of them, all right? So that one stands up like that. And you can tell if this was supposed to be like this would be a lot taller, right? But it's not. So this is kind of a short one. Okay, so now that we have that, now we know that this one, these stripes go with this piece, okay? So these stripes go with the long one. This bow goes with this guy. And this ribbon and this bow goes with that guy. So that is how it's going to go. So first thing that we're going to do before we put on our backs, so we're going to put the backs to the side, that we are going to glue these pieces onto our gifts, okay? Now, you don't need a lot of glue. Now, just like what I did with the Christmas tree, if you want to put them on first to test them out before you put the glue on there, that might be a good idea just so you can, you know exactly where it's going to go, right? Because you don't want to try to glue it for the first time and placing it and realizing that's not going to work out so good. All right, that's not fun at all. Okay, all right, so I have the green one done. Got a little glue kind of everywhere, but that's okay. Okay, so I have that one done. I'm going to move it over to the side. Now I'm going to do the pink present. Okay, now here's the trick with the ribbons. If you want the ribbons to have a little bit of a curve, you can kind of see that my green one has a curve here. What you do is that you bend it this way. So I'm taking the bow and I'm bending it down my finger, and then I'm going to grab it a little bit further down right before the indent, and then I'm going to curl that up. All right, and then I should have a curl. You can kind of see I have that curl. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue just kind of where the bows meet, the knots, if you will. And I'm going to glue that right there. Nice. Okay, so I have a little bit of curve. You can kind of see that. I'm going to go ahead and put that next to my pink. And then my last one, this is easy. I just put glue on the pink, and I just put it on my gift. Okay, perfect. All right, now it's time for us to do the backs. Okay, now what we're gonna do on the backs is the same one for each and every one. So once you get it down, you should be able to do the other ones. So let's do the green one because it's the biggest and it'll be easiest for me to show you. So you see where your indents are, right? On the top and the bottom, we already talked about those. We'll go ahead and bend it at that indent. Okay? And then when you do that, you have these tabs. What we're gonna do is that we're gonna pull one tab towards us. Okay? And then we're gonna flip it. So right now, this is what it should look like. Okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now the good news is that it doesn't really have to be pretty. And then you have this kind of accordion zigzag. Okay, now I'm gonna do this without glue so you can see what I'm about to do, okay? So, but I'm gonna put glue on the back, and then what I do is I pull it out a little bit, and I'm gonna glue it. Not really where the bottom is meeting the bottom of the back is meeting the bottom of the gift, because if I do that, it might tip forward. But if I glue it a little bit higher, what will happen is that it will lean back, just a tiny bit. All right, so I'll go ahead and put glue on my tabs. Put the tabs on my gift. I'm gonna pull it out a little bit, but I wanna make sure my tabs don't go over my gift. And I like to hold it down on the base to make it lean back a little bit, so I kind of know where that naturally sits. And I'm just holding it while it dries. Because remember, you can only go as fast as the glue dries. Which is why some people like to use double stick tape. But that also takes a while too. Okay, and so now you have your first gift. Yay! Okay, so let's go ahead and do that with the others. So again, fold it, pull one tab towards you, pull the other tab towards you. Feel free to pause. Glue, glue, and then pull and hold. Okay, and the last one. Bend, pull, pull, glue, glue, pull, and hold. So here's the thing, is that if you want to, and this is what I often did, this is what I did with these, because notice these are not coming over. These are not coming undone whatsoever. The brackets, or the back, also gives us a nice place for us to put the glue. So if you want to glue the back of the gift onto the rug, that's how you do it. Put a little bit of glue. And there you go. All right, and that's it. You did it! How was your papercraft adventure? I want to hear all about it. So if you could send me a photo or a video to Instagram at Unstationary Store, we would love to get those and share those and celebrate what you just did. Anyway, friends, if you have any questions or feedback, also contact us there as well. We'll see you soon. Bye.